ただいまより2025年
So now I'd like to start the press conference for 2024 Japan Prize laureates. I'd like to be the moderator of today's session. I am Mitsuru Kitao, Senior Executive Director of JapanPrize Foundation. Thank you very much for joining us online. We are live streaming this session via YouTube, so please keep that in your mind. So let us get started with the press conference. I'd like to introduce the speakers for today. On behalf of the host, we have Dr. Ryozo Nagai, the president of JapanPrize Foundation, who is also the president of Jichi Medical University. We also have Dr. Makoto Gonokami, the chairman of the selection committee of JapanPrize. He's also the president of RIKEN. First of all, on behalf of the foundation, I'd like to invite Dr. Ryozo Nagai, the president of the foundation, to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I am Ryozo Nagai, the president of the JapanPrize Foundation. I would like to thank the press and media for your continuous support of JapanPrize. JapanPrize was established in the early 1980s as many people supported through donation to the idea of creating a world-class prize for science and technology in Japan, advocated by the government of Japan. It was first launched in 1985, and this year marks the 41st anniversary. The JapanPrize has two distinctive features as the World Science and Technology Prize. The first is the selection criteria. The most important selection criterion for JapanPrize has been contribution to the peace and prosperity of mankind. The nominations from all over the world are reviewed by a subcommittee, a panel of experts in the field, to select the finalists based upon the academic excellence. And then, the selection committee, consisting of experts in the wide range of fields, will select the laureates based upon contribution to the peace and prosperity of mankind. In recent years, humans have been facing with a variety of serious challenges which require solutions through science and technology. So the philosophy the JapanPrize was founded on is becoming increasingly important. The second is target areas. JapanPrize is divided into two major areas: physics, chemistry, informatics, and engineering, and life sciences, agriculture, medicine, and pharmacology. And each is further divided into 3 areas for a total of 6. Each year, the laureates are selected from 2 of these fields, so that the 6 fields will be covered in 3 years to make sure a wide range of science and technologies are reviewed. This is the second unique feature of this prize, as it focuses on achievements that are difficult to be highlighted by other prizes, such as social implementation of technology and social infrastructure, as well as on compound achievements that are difficult to be judged by siloed jury, such as physics, chemistry, and physiology. This year, prizes will go to the fields of materials science and production, and biological production, ecology, and environment. A total of 111 people have received the award so far. Tracing the history of these awards gives us a sense of the richness of life we enjoy today and the role that science and technology have played in making it possible. I am convinced of the significance of the prize, and I will make every effort hoping that JapanPrize will be recognized around the world as the world leading science and technology prize contributing to the peace and prosperity of mankind. We would like to ask the media and press for your continuous support for Japan Prize. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the selection committee and two subcommittees for their hard work and dedication. Now, the chairman, Dr. Makoto Gonokami, who was directly involved in the selection process, will announce 2025 Japan Prize laureates.
Thank you, Dr. Nagai. Now I'd like to invite the chair of the selection committee of 2025 Japan Prize, Dr. Makoto Gonokami, to say a few words and also announce the laureates. Thank you very much. I am Makoto Gonokami. I served as a chair of selection committee of 2025 Japan Prize. In November 2023, we have determined and announced two fields eligible for awards. One is materials sciences and production, and another is biological production, ecology, and environment. And then we asked about 15,500 experts, scientists, and engineers who are registered with the foundation to give us the recommendation for the candidates. As a result, we received 149 recommendations in material sciences and production and 72 recommendations in biological production and ecology environment, a total of 221. And those nominations are rigorously reviewed for academic originality and excellence by two selection subcommittees and, at the same time, for how the discovery or invention contributes to the society, which is the hallmark of the Japan Prize. In the process, we had the engagement of the 106 experts from Japan and abroad who have given us the very objective ideas. And based on that, the selection committee did the final review, and the board of directors of the foundation made the decisions. Now, I'd like to announce the laureates of 2025 Japan Prize. In material sciences and production, the laureate is Dr. Russell Dean Dupuy of Georgia Institute of Technology. His achievement is the development of the metal organic chemical vapor deposition technology for compound semiconductor electronic and optoelectronic devices and pioneering contribution to its large-scale commercialization. Second is biological production, ecology, and environment. The laureate is Dr. Carlos Duarte, Distinguished Professor, Biological Environmental Science and Engineering Division of King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. His achievement is a contribution to our understanding of marine ecosystems in a changing Earth, especially through pioneering research on blue carbon. So those two are the laureates. Both made contributions to the progress of science and technology as well as peace and prosperity of human beings and are worthy of a Japan Prize. Congratulations to both of you. Now, I'd like to briefly introduce the achievements of those two laureates, starting with Dr. Dupuy in material sciences and production. The advent of the information and communication devices such as PCs and smartphones, we are now in an age where a huge amount of information is exchanged on a daily basis. A wide variety of semiconductor devices are used in various information terminals and peripheral devices that support this information society. Semiconductors are materials that can control the flow of electrons and can be used to create electronic devices with a variety of electrical properties, including transistors. Furthermore, the compound semiconductors, which are made by combining two or more elements, can be used to create a variety of electronic and optical devices, such as LEDs, semiconductor lasers, and solar cells. due to the diverse properties that result from the combination of the elements. For large-scale commercial production of the compound semiconductors, a method called MOCVD is used using the organometallic compound gases. In 2070s, Dr. Dupuy focused on MOCVD and demonstrated that the devices fabricated using this method exhibit excellent practical properties. Dr. Dupuy's research has paved the way for the mass production and commercialization of compound semiconductor, electronic, and optical devices.
Next, I will briefly describe the achievements of Dr. Carlos M. Duarte, the recipient of the award in the field of bioproduction ecology and environment. The ocean provides various benefits to our human society. On the other hand, the degradation of the marine environment is becoming increasingly serious and is having a negative impact on the marine ecosystem. Dr. Duarte is a leading researcher on marine ecosystem under global environmental change. His research on blue carbon, in particular, has made a significant contribution by clarifying the importance of marine ecosystems as carbon sinks and providing new guidelines for global warming countermeasures. Dr. Duarte has discovered that among marine ecosystem, vegetated coastal habitat, the salt marsh plants, mangroves, and seaweeds is the largest reservoir of blue carbon. Equivalent to 50% of the annual volume of the entire ocean blue carbon is deposited on the seafloor in the vegetated coastal habitat and stored there for more than 1,000 years. This makes the vegetated coastal habitat the most important ecosystem for mitigating global warming. On the other hand, the vegetated coastal habitat is the ecosystem that have been most destroyed by human activities. And Dr. Duarte is also working to conserve and restore them. Furthermore, Dr. Duarte points out that utilizing the functions of existing marine ecosystem is the key to a sustainable future for our planet. His foresight is a beacon of hope for all of us. Now, that's it from me. Once again, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the two award winners.
Dr. Gonokami, thank you very much. We would now like to receive messages from the winners. We would like to welcome Professor Dupuy.
Sorry, Professor Dupuy, your microphone is off. Can you check it is on?
Sorry.
Camera on, please.
Oh, what happened? Sorry about that. It is with great humility and profound gratitude that I accept the 2025 Japan Prize in the field of material science and production. It is with great humility and profound gratitude that I accept the 2025 Japan Prize in the field of material science and production, an area that I've been working in for over 50 years. I thank the Japan Prize Foundation and all who participated in this award process. I'm proud to accept this award, not just for me, but for my many colleagues and collaborators who made important contributions to our work and to this field. The field of semiconductor materials and production is both technically and economically extremely significant, and our work has benefited the lives of many people on the Earth, especially in the areas of illumination using LEDs, high-speed communications, and information processing. In the 1950s, the primary efforts in semiconductor devices and materials focused on materials composed of one or two elements. In the 1960s and 1970s, researchers expanded this work to more complex structures containing 3 and 4 element semiconductors and even as many as 6 elements or more. Controlling the material synthesis process of these complex multi-element semiconductor structures became a critical requirement for development of advanced devices. Not only was it necessary to control the composition of the multi-element materials, but it also required control of the layer thickness of the materials, from a few microns to only a few atomic layers, which corresponds to only about 10 angstroms. Our work provided some of the basis for expanding the growth of these complex material structures from a small area of 1 to 2 square centimeters to over 1,500 square centimeters in each process run, while providing excellent uniformity as well as atomic level control of their elemental compositions and thickness. These innovations greatly reduced the cost and increased the commercial viability of these materials and devices. Further work by other researchers in this field increased the reproducibility and yield, creating a more robust manufacturing process. The impact of this work promises to be even greater in the future, as it will improve the practical implementation of many advanced technologies, for example, in medical applications, robotics, autonomous vehicles, and artificial intelligence systems. It is a great honor for me to receive this award for many reasons. Firstly, I am humbled by the many significant and seminal contributions of past JapanPrize recipients. Secondly, I'm especially grateful and honored to receive this award since my mentor, Professor Nick Holonyak Jr., received the JapanPrize 30 years ago, almost to the day, for his work on semiconductor visible light-emitting devices. Thirdly, I'm happy to receive this award on behalf of my many postdoctoral fellows and graduate students who have contributed to our work in semiconductor materials and devices. Finally, I have many good friends and colleagues in Japan whom I have known personally and respected for almost 50 years. I've had the wonderful opportunity to visit your beautiful country on many occasions, starting with my first visit to Tokyo in 1979. Like all advances in the fields of science and technology, this work is underpinned by the efforts of many individuals working over many years in many disciplines, including chemistry, material science, physics, and electrical engineering. I want to thank these past contributors for their founding efforts upon which we were able to build. Again, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the JapanPrize Foundation, the nominator and references, and the award selection committee members for this most prestigious award. Finally, I want to thank my family for their unwavering support and encouragement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dupuy. Please mute yourself and then wait for a while. Then I'd like to ask Dr. Duarte to take the floor.
I am deeply honored to receive the JapanPrize for my contributions to understanding marine ecosystems in a changing world, particularly through my pioneer research on blue carbon. For decades, my research has focused on the impact of human activities on ocean ecosystems and how restoring marine life to its former abundance can address critical global challenges, including the climate and food crisis that we all suffer. This research has revealed coastal marine habitats as the biosphere's most intense carbon sinks, leading to the development of the blue carbon concept. Blue carbon highlights the significant benefits of conserving and restoring coastal marine habitats for climate change mitigation and adaptation. This concept represents a crucial shift in our relationship with the ocean, establishing a precedent for a nature-positive economy where investments in healthy oceans become sound economic opportunities. The Japan Prize holds immense international prestige, reflected in the distinguished accomplishments of its past laureates and the fact that the award is received from His Majesty Emperor Naruhito. Further, the Japan Prize stands apart from other globally recognized awards by specifically acknowledging contributions in biological production, ecology, and environment, the very field for which I am being recognized. This distinction speaks to a unique cultural connection between the Japanese people and nature. My scientific endeavors have drawn inspiration from the traditional Japanese practice of satomi, which emphasizes actions that maintain healthy, biodiverse, and productive oceans, fostering a sustainable harmony between people and the marine ecosystem. Satomi embodies the conservation and active restoration of vital marine habitats, precisely the practices underpinned by blue carbon initiatives. I believe the root cause of our current environmental crisis, encompassing both climate and biodiversity, lies in the Western cultural principle of human dominance over nature. This is in contrast with the Japanese reverence for nature, reflected in its rich culture, traditional practices, vast knowledge, and profound empathy for all living creatures, which I deeply admire. Natural capital encompasses the components of ecosystems that provide the essential services upon which human well-being depends. I view blue carbon as a stepping stone towards developing natural capital, both blue and green, as a new and investable asset class. This recognition by the Japan Prize reinforces the importance of integrating health with ecological health, with economic considerations for a sustainable future achieved by a global adoption of the Satomi practice. I close my statement by thanking my family and scientific collaborators, past and present, for their support and encouragement throughout the years, and the Japan Prize Foundation for this recognition, and all of the colleagues that contributed and participated in the process leading to today's announcement.
Dr. Duarte, thank you so much. Please stay online and just mute yourself for a while. Right after this, we will be having a photo session and then question and answer session, so please stay with us.
それでは準備ができましたので、写真撮影の
Now
時間
that
と
we
い
are
たします。
ready, it is time for the photo session.
配信画面に映っているかと
I
思い
think
ま
you
す。
can see the two winners on the screen.
もしくは
So if you'd like, you can take a picture of it, or you can just take a screen capture.
よろしいでしょうか。それでは続い
You
て
okay?
質疑応答に移りた
All
い
right,
と
then
思い
moving
ます。
on to the question and answer
視聴者の先
session.
生方、皆さんマイクをオンにして
And
ください。
the winners and also everyone, please turn on your microphone.
ご質問があ
Unmute
る場合は
yourself,
チャットボタ
please.
ンをクリックし、
And if you
質
have
問
any
内容
question,
と
please
ど
click
な
the
たへ
chat
の質問
button
かを記載
and
して
send us.
返信してくだ
And
さい。
your questions must be written in such a way that which winner should be answering to your question.
そ 時間の許す限り皆様からの質問を
So, as much as time allows, I would like to read out your questions. Okay?
まずは
All right, then the first question to Dr. Duarte.
今回の受賞が決まった
So,
時のお気持
what
ちは
was your feeling when you learned that you became the winner?
Well, the first sensation was one of surprise because I was not aware they had been nominated. So then, obviously, that came with a sentiment of honor and humbleness for receiving this news. And also because I have very dear colleagues in Japan, my friends, Professor Takashi Gohobori from the Maui Institute, my colleague Atsushi Watanabe, and many others that I would like to then acknowledge and recognize as collaborators, and also because the Japan Prize stands out in my field of research as the highest honor and recognition that one scientist can possibly strive to.
デュアルテ博士ありがとうございました。続き
Thank
ま
you
し
very
て
much.
デュプイ博士への
We have a question for Professor
研究を
Dupuy.
進める過程で
So, in the pursuit of this research, what were some of the highlights that led to your success, or do you have any episodes that you feel were a milestone for you in this research?
Well, preparation of my graduate work was really fundamental to this effort that I carried out after graduating. Professor Holiak's laboratory was very practically oriented, and we built a lot of our own equipment, so we're very hands-on. But mostly his focus was on new ideas and expanding the knowledge base of semiconductor materials. So that preparation was sort of the fundamental underpinning of what work I carried out later on when we developed MOCVD. A lot of challenges existed. First of all, materials are very reactive, so they can be somewhat hazardous, but they were not commercially available in high purity, so we had to make do with what we could purchase, which often was compromised in quality. And my first equipment I had hand built myself with mostly used parts. They weren't even new. We had a very small budget to start with, so it was a challenge to get everything together. I worked many nights and evenings, and my family fortunately was forgiving when I was gone so much.
デュプイ博士ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Dr. Dupuy.
続きまして
Next question is to Dr. Duarte.
研究を始めるこ
So,
とに
why did you decide to select this theme for your research?
I've been dedicated my research efforts to marine science and the oceans for 4 decades. And during the first half of my research, then I was focused on understanding how human activities eventually deliver impacts and lead to the loss and damage to marine ecosystems. But sometime around the turn of the century, year 2000, then I started to realize through my research that also there were opportunities for our stewardship of marine ecosystems, so conservation and restoration, to help addressing some of the biggest challenges of humanity. That also is the quest that the Japan Prize Foundation recognizes with the awards. And those are, for instance, mitigating climate change, contributing to alleviate and mitigate the biodiversity crisis and the food crisis. So I realized that there was an important contribution to be made, not from documented losses, but by documenting what are the benefits of rebuilding marine life and rebuilding particularly coastal habitats, which play such an important role.
デュアルテ博士ありがとうございました。 続きまして、
Professor Duarte, thank you very much. The next question goes to Professor Dupuy. So how would you like to further advance this category of your research?
One of the important material systems that the Japanese actually know well now are the wider bandgap materials based on gallium, aluminum, and nitrogen. And that field is now expanding into commercial production and has a potential great impact in both power saving, energy savings, and in biomedical applications, as well as various space-based sensing systems that are used to monitor the Earth and to seek new planets. So in my lab, the exciting work we're pursuing now is more in the material space of nitrogen combined with gallium and aluminum to make new types of semiconductor devices. And this field really is what lit up the world when Akasaki Sensei and others in Japan developed the high brightness blue LED, which is based on similar material system. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。続きまし
Thank you
て、
very much. Next question is for both Dr. Duarte and also Dr. Dupuy, for both of you, that there are so many youngsters who are studying in science. So from a great researcher from you, what is the interesting point or fun point about the science, and what should be the attitude of the research, and also any messages for the youngsters?
So maybe I will start with my contribution to addressing the question and providing advice to young researchers. So my first advice is to enter science with an open mind, and then impose no boundaries to the type of questions that you would like to explore, and focus on advancing our current understanding of fundamental knowledge upon which science is built. Then that requires that you choose carefully your mentors, your colleagues, and the institutions that you work with, so that they foster and encourage that free thinking that is the underpinning of solid contributions to science. So, for instance, my own institution, King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, fosters free thinking and exploring the boundaries of research, and it's through that exploration that we can eventually build new foundations of knowledge upon which discoveries of practical application eventually rest. Then I will also encourage young scientists to make sure that they do publish their results, whether they're positive results or negative results, in international peer-reviewed literature, because it's only through that accretion of knowledge that we can all learn from each other's efforts and accelerate the quest of scientific discovery.
Dupuy 博士お願いします。
Dr. Dupuy, the same question to you as well.
Thank you for this question. It's a very important question that we address here at the university where I work at Georgia Tech. Clearly, in the field I'm in, we are more interested in the practical application of knowledge and the development of new technology. So one of the things that I learned in my graduate days with Professor Holniak is a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of hard work to realize a new idea. And as you just heard from Professor Duarte, sometimes the ideas don't work. And so you have to learn from your mistakes. But developing a good relationship with your colleagues, with your mentors, with your fellow students is important. And we work very closely in a collaborative way in graduate school, and so do we here in my group. It's a group effort. Everybody tries to contribute. So I think one recommendation I make is find a good, strong team, even if it's small, and make a good contribution. Keep your end of the bargain up, work hard, read the literature, keep up with the latest advances in the field, and think out of the box, as you just heard from Professor Duarte. Think about where you could take your ideas to make an impact. When this technology began long ago in the 60s, my advisor was predicting great things for LEDs, and no one thought his ideas would be ever realized. It's all been surpassed now. So keep your head up and work hard and find a good team to work with and then to contribute to. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。
Thank
それ
you
で
very
は
much.
最後の質問になります
So this is going to be the last question. This is a question to Dr. Duarte. There are many different science awards. How do you position Japan Prize amongst all the other scientific awards or prizes?
Thank you for the question. So in my field of research, there's no question that the Japan Prize is the highest scientific recognition that any scientist working on environment ecology and biological production can aspire to. And the track record of past laureates attests to the global significance of the award. Plus also in the introduction to the award, we heard of the motivation of the Japan Prize to establish the foundation, to establish the award rooted on fostering peace and collaboration across humanity. So this resonates very strongly with the difficulties of our times. So the motivations and the solid base of the Japan Prize in fostering science as a way to find peace and develop peace in the world is now more important than ever. And therefore, the Japan Prize now rises to the full significance, global significance of the merits and the objectives that it recognizes. Arigatou gozaimasu.
それでは時間が
Thank
参り
you.
ましたので、
I think it's time to
終了させていただきます。
close the
すべてご
QA
紹介できない
session.
ことをお詫び申し上げます。
We are sorry that we were not able to cover all the questions. For the questions which are not covered today, as much as possible, we are trying to cover. And once again, thank you very much to the two doctors, and please remain online.
本日はありがとうございま
And
した。
once again, thank you very much to the media for joining us today. The presentation ceremony will be held on April 16th at the New National Theatre, the commemorative lecture on April 17th, and media interviews on April 18th at the Imperial Hotel. We will inform you of the details as soon as they are finalized. Also, all the materials and video will be posted on our homepage. Right after this, we are going to have the group interview, material science and production area. If you have questions to Dr. Dupuy, please remain online. Biological production, ecology, and environment. If you have questions to Dr. Duarte, just before 2 p.m. Japan time, please go to the URL which we have shared prior. So with that, we would like to end 2025 Japan Prize press announcement of laureates. Once again, thank you very much for your participation.